Hey, good morning, everyone. You are with Tom this morning on Ludicrous Feed Live Saturday Extra. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. If you're watching live, if you're watching on replay as well, hello and welcome. Make sure you leave a comment if you're watching live to tell us where you're watching from. And if you're watching on replay, leave a comment as well. If you're watching or listening to us on audio podcast, welcome to the replay. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, well, let's welcome our regular guest, as always, Mr. Riz Akhtar from Carloop and also The Driven. Hello, Riz. How are you this morning?
Hey Tom, going well? Just giving everyone a heads up, I'm coming in from a cafe. So if you hear the coffee machine in the background, I'll just let the barista know to bring me more coffees as we're going through the stream this morning. So exciting to be here.
That's right. Coffee's on us this morning. If you can get to Riz there in wherever he's streaming from this morning. All right. Well, let's say hello to some of our viewers this morning. So Paul is with us this morning. He's asking who is attending the TOCA or Tesla Owners Club of Australia AGM today. So that's on if anyone's interested. And Paul's also generously donated $20 to the channel, and he says thanks for the Sydney to Canberra road trip video. So check that out, everyone, if you haven't seen that yet. Next time you plan to go to Canberra, get in touch and I can demonstrate some of the Tesla software issues reported in this link below from GitHub. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Paul. That might be a good chance to sort of do an episode, maybe to work out, what are the issues that are facing Tesla owners at the moment in 2023. I think that could be quite valuable for Tesla to get some feedback there. Tassie EV1, morning guys, unable to make it for live stream today, so watch in post replay. Going to an EV event at Glebe Hill Shopping Centre with AEVA though. Charles may also be there, I think referring to Charles Gregory, one of our regulars. I think Glebe Hill's probably in Tasmania, so anyone in Tassie, head down there and check that out. And Gaffer says, Diggs sleep out of eyes. Morning all. Man, I need a hot mug of tea to get me moving. Yeah, Gaffer, I've got my coffee this morning. Certainly a very early start for all of us, but no, good of you to join us and everyone else too this early. Not for Kevin though. Kevin's watching from Lakeland, Florida. As always, good evening. Hello, Kevin. Nice to see you. Robin Jules, good morning. All caffeine kicking in. Yes, good to hear. And Gaffer also says, Tom, does your new black 2023 Tesla have navigate on autopilot? Is the Sydney-Canberra trip still bouncing left and right, lanes and popping in and out of NOA on the trip? I don't have NOA. However, the last time I did NOA trip on a Model 3, yes, it did, because I think it's not 100% freeway all the way down to Canberra, because I think after a while, the Hume motorway becomes a highway where there's like lanes going in and out of the freeway of the road, so it's not technically a freeway. Hence, NOA will cut in and out. I think that's my explanation for why it does that. And Jeremy Gordon, question for us, I guess, Riz. Why don't electric cars marry hybrid cars? Because there is no connection. Okay, gotcha. Nice. Little dad joke there for Saturday morning. I like it. Keep them coming. Riz, what's happening in the news this week for EVs?
Look, this long-awaited Renault Megane E-Tech. Apparently, it's going to be here before the end of the year. It was supposed to be here earlier this year. So this is an interesting car. There were a lot of people waiting for it, and they were pretty much ready to place an order on one. But from what I understand, the Renault is not bringing in the version or the variant that charges 22 kilowatt DC. Oh, sorry, 22 kilowatt AC charging.
AC.
And that's available in Europe, and it's not here. So apparently it's a bit of a, at that price point, given it's still a smallish sort of a car. Renault's not bringing that in, which is disappointing, and customers are just, not putting their money somewhere else instead of on this car, which looks cool, and, it looks like it's got a lot to offer. It's one of the first electric vehicles from Renault, but a bit disappointing. And as that article sort of starts off, this comes after Zoe that they had for many years, and I have a soft spot for Zoe. Like, it was one of the very early small hatchbacks, apart from the Leaf, I guess. But disappointing. But hopefully they can get a few runs on the board with a few sales, because it does look pretty classy.
Yeah, no, Renault do make quite nice cars. I mean, how big is this car, Riz? I mean, is it an MG4 size vehicle or is it a bit bigger?
From what I can understand, it's 4.2 meters in length, so it's nearly half a meter small. Well, yeah, half a meter smaller than the Model 3. It would
Mm,
be similar, I guess, to the MG4, yeah, and the Dolphin in terms of its length.
mm.
Obviously, with a lot of these smaller cars, there's a lot of close-up shots. They look bigger than they actually are, because that looks like a Nissan Ariya, like a large sort of a vehicle. But um, yeah, I mean, it's the same as the Volvo EX30. They made it look like it was a seven-seater, but
Yeah,
it's smaller than most hatchbacks. So no, it's smaller than a Model 3.
yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it, from press photos and even like if you see it in a showroom or like a motor show, it's hard to tell if it's not against any other vehicle. It's not until you actually step into it and go, oh, actually, this is actually smaller or bigger than I thought. Usually smaller than you think. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was just looking at this pic even. It does look very MG4-esque or Dolphin-esque. And you're right, it's not going to have the full 22 kilowatts. No vehicle at the moment, I think, no new vehicle entry into Australia has full 22 kilowatts, I believe.
Maybe the Taycan. I may be
Hmm.
wrong. Maybe the Taycan.
Okay.
Taycan, I thought from memory had like two charge ports, one on either side, one for AC and one for DC. When I
DC.
test drove the car last year, but look, apart from that, I mean, Taycan is not really, let's say, Renault in Megane tech territory. So, but no, I don't think many vehicles offer that.
No, the only full 22 kilowatt charging vehicle at the moment I can think of is the legacy Tesla Model S, which
Yes.
offered two 11 kilowatt chargers. So I think that's the only vehicle now, apart from if you've got a Renault Zoe kicking around somewhere at the moment. But let's have a look. So Megane E-Tech, 160 kilowatt electric motor, 60 kilowatt hour lithium battery, 454 kilometers. That's not too bad. That's kind of in the Model 3 kind of efficiency with the claimed consumption of 15.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. 0 to 107.4, again in MG territory, 300 newton meters of torque, 64,990 on roads, plus on roads. So that's on the expensive side of things, I think. Certainly more expensive than the Model 3 at the moment, heading
That
into Model Y
quote,
territory.
yeah, exactly, Tommy. That quote that
Mm,
just underneath that paragraph there from the Renault general manager, I don't know how
mm.
true that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. It's not certainly not a Renaulution,
Oh
for that
no,
price anyway. So anyway, look,
yeah,
more choice is good, I guess,
it is.
and it'll fit some segment of the market. I guess some people may want a European or French designed vehicle or EV, and that's good. I mean, I quite like the Kangoo E van that I see around in Sydney. One of our
Uh,
local councils has it for their library vehicle, so they make good cars, Renault.
last couple of days, I've been driving around in the Peugeot e-Partner,
Hmm.
and we need more vans. And I have to say, I genuinely love that car. It is so fun and so good to drive, with or without a load. And I think it will give Renault e-Kangoo a bit of run for its money. Um, and
Okay.
I think, yeah, I'll try and get some pictures for next week's live stream so that, yeah, that's the one in grey.
Mm. Yeah, right. So it's like is it like a high ace type or a van, or is it a bit smaller than that?
A little bit smaller in terms of the capacity in the back, but
Hmm.
um, there is also word that a highest type of van, the E-Expert, I think they call it. You can see it in one of those photos with the three vans there.
Mm.
It's the one in the middle.
Oh,
So
sorry,
the
this one.
one in the middle is the
Mm.
E-Expert, and the one on the very far right is the E-Partner, which is what I've got at the moment. And
Mm.
just everything's so functional, and suspension feels better, in my opinion, than an MGZS EV,
Mm. Wow,
even though it
big
is a
call.
converted van.
Yeah. No, I'm a big van fan, Riz. I personally, this is controversial. I personally prefer a van over a Ute. I just like the security of coverage over the top rather than open
Yeah,
cab at the back. So that's just my personal opinion. Big fan. No, it's good to hear you like that, Riz. So yeah, show us some photos next time. We'll put it on for sure.
for sure.
Um, let's put on some comments from people watching. So thanks so much for everyone joining us this early on a Saturday morning. Really appreciate it. Let's take some more comments. Not for us says, morning guys, recently converted to Tesla, waiting for my Model Y to get off the boat in Port Kembla and discovered your wonderful channel. You're welcome. Brilliant job, Tom. And Riz, of course, and Rahul, and everyone else who joins us on the stream too. So thanks everyone for helping people get into EVs. Abi says, morning all. Morning, Abi. And here we go. This is going to be a good discussion. Robski187. Good morning, gents. Can we have a poll if 3 devices in Tom's Model 3 are overkill? Canberra road trip video. Now, I do this. Now, if you haven't seen the video yet, my regular setup is so the Model 3 infotainment screen, that's fine. I like having Waze on my mobile device set up next to it on a mount. And I also have the TestLogic dashboard mount. I do this for 2 reasons, obviously. One, it's a commission-based endorsement. I do it because, obviously I'm trying to promote it. And if anybody who tells me they prefer the screen behind the steering wheel, there you go. There's an option right there. And secondly, I do actually like having the speedometer right in front of me. I'm a bit old school that way. And certainly on the freeway, it's nice to have that right in front of you. So yes, three screens might be overkill. It's not absolutely necessary. It's totally optional. But I would love to have Waze integration for the Model 3 or Model Y. Riz, what do you think? Would that be a good option to have on our cars?
For sure. So you can hear the coffee machine in the background now. But yeah, would love. I think. See, I've never really been a big Waze user because I just haven't ever experienced it. Google Maps generally does an okay job, but after sort of doing our MG4 trip with you, Tom, I converted. Like I think it's a great app, and that's what we sort of need. Particularly when we're trying to identify different hazards and other things. So having that integration would be great one day. I think Tesla will be working on something like that, given they already use the Google Maps layer underneath their standard maps. But yeah, I guess definitely more apps like that needed to help drivers. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of that ever since experiencing it with yourself, Tom.
Yep. There are third-party apps in the US which allow Waze or browser capability when you're driving. Now, in Australia, obviously, with our regulation, you can't have the browser open in Australia with your car. So obviously, it's not going to work. But I agree with Gaffer here. If Tesla would just finally open up their OS with an API and allow CarPlay, etc., we could get Waze on the main screen. 100% agree with you, Gaffer. And surely it's only a matter of time, like Apple allow developers to, install apps on devices.
I think it is going to be very interesting because, we know Tesla tries to ensure, and then the way they will put it is to offer a homogeneous sort of experience offer an experience that is very Tesla-like, and third-party apps that sort of deviate from that slightly. They could put it anywhere. It's a safety issue if drivers are interacting with it. It's, all of this stuff. But we hope that, Tesla does listen. And as they get more and more into mainstream market, and if they want to continue to grow their sales the way they are, then they would need to allow something like that. A good example is, the new Model S and X, which is not coming here, originally came out with just the yoke. And they got to a stage where they could not sell that vehicle to people because people just didn't want the yoke, particularly traditional buyers that, maybe considering a Mercedes or a Audi or BMW 5 Series. They're just not going to go down there because they want a standard steering wheel. So Tesla does listen, but hopefully they do listen to everyone else as well. And before Model 2 comes out in the next 12 to 18 months, which is even more mass market, we hope they have those type of integrations, especially the popular apps.
Yep. Now, I love Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for that matter, especially in non-Tesla vehicles that I test. I'm not a huge fan of the other UX infotainment screens. It's just not user-friendly like a Tesla. So having Apple CarPlay there, it's the next best thing. And you can obviously port all your settings from Apple CarPlay or Android Auto into the new car that you're testing. Now, the Tesla nav and trip planning is like second to none. It's like up here. Everything else is down there. Even Polestar's got it a little bit, but Tesla's like next level. So apart from that, having Waze would be fantastic because, as Riz said, And I'll just put this comment up here from Nick. Not a Waze user. What are the benefits to shift me from Google and Apple Maps on my drive? So Nick, check out our MG video that Riz and I did a couple of weekends ago, and you'll see that it's user populated. So if you are driving, you see something like a police patrol hiding in the bushes somewhere, you can actually plot that and say it's there, and that helps other users. Or if you see roadkill on the road, or if there's debris on the road, or roadworks, whatever, plot that, and other people can agree with you or disagree, and it's kind of a user-populated system. And it just helps other drivers on the road, and it's safe to do that as well, because the buttons are all quite nice and big. You can just press it really quick, or if you've got a passenger, then that's even more helpful. So give it a go. It's free to download, free to use. I think it's a Google-owned anyway, Waze. So
it is a Google-owned app.
Yeah. Eventually it should come to Google Maps. I think they're probably still testing it or whatever at this stage. So that's Waze, and I recommend it. It's no commission, just I quite like it. Love using it. Paul says, I would love more customized screen options for Tesla. So example, larger clock, maybe even a larger speedometer too, Riz. Surely that will happen too one day, more customizable options.
Well, some of the recent changes that they've made have sort of been in that area. So the ability to, for example, customize where, when you turn your indicator on, where that camera display comes, you can actually move that around. Along with, they're trying to bring more customization, including the scroll wheel adjustment, where you can actually adjust the scroll wheel to do what you want it to do, so giving it additional functionality. So I'm hoping that it would be the same, where there's more customization options available, so that those that want it, probably 90% of the people won't use it, but those that want it, it's there.
Yep. At the moment, you can increase the font size, but not the Speedo font size, which is a shame. That's what most people want. Point about custom Google Maps on Polestar Volvo. Yes, it's really good, and it includes trip planning as well, which is really crucial for an EV to help with range anxiety. Which Apple Maps Apple CarPlay does not have at the moment. So that's one thing missing from Apple CarPlay. It drives. Good morning. It was good to see you, Tom, at the shops. Yes, I think it's the person I'm thinking of. Hello there. Thanks for saying hello. Really appreciate it. And Jim agrees. Hi, boys. Waze would be great. And Inverse says, hello, everyone. H2 Rider, good morning. Nice to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Keep those comments coming. Riz, I think we better chat about the next topic here. What should we talk about?
So rumors. But exciting rumors about Project Highland from the upgraded Tesla Model 3. That's, something came up late last night, Australia time.
Okay, we love rumors. Let's put this one up. So here we go.
So I believe this is Chris Zheng, who is one of the people based in Shanghai. It's his calendar. I can't read Chinese, but I had a look at the comments underneath. And it says something along the lines of something wonderful.
Yes, that's right. So yes, that's obviously the date, 2023, 9th month, which is September, and the first day. So 1st of September, 2023, something wonderful is about to happen. I wonder what that could be. That's only in 6 days' time. That's next Friday.
So the comments, I don't know. The comments are really interesting. Like some suspect it's the Model 3 Highland. Some sort of say that is it something to do with the FSD, as you can see there. It's just maybe Elon's popping in again, but I don't know whether that would be the most wonderful thing, given he was already there a couple of months ago now.
Maybe it's just non-Tesla related. Maybe he's like, something personal, something about to happen to him.
Well, that's exactly right. It could be anything. Maybe he's promoted to, I don't know. It sounds like he works in this industry, because his previous posts since the beginning of this year have been pretty spot on. Like, I think in February he said that Tesla will remove the wooden trim from the Highland, and that's looking more and more likely given the trim we're seeing inside of the Cybertrucks driving around. It's that nano fabric stuff, that material. So I guess we'll find out. I'm looking forward to Jason Yang, who's one of the drone operators around Tesla Shanghai, because the fleet of those cars that are covered under the car covers at Giga Shanghai's factory has been increasing. So if it continues, that whole parking lot is full of them, then they're about to be put onto transporters and heading towards more than likely the showrooms. If not, if they've already moved, then they're already on their way. So we'll find out.
Yes, we did cover that in our stream on Thursday, didn't we? So there's more sort of covered cars in the parking lot. I mean, chances are it's probably something to do with Highland, you would think, given there's so much talk and chatter about the Highland or the Model 3 refresh. So that's probably more than likely. Maybe FSD as well, as we talked about from the comments. Who knows? And again, with Tesla, they never confirm anything. It's always just innuendo, myth, rumors from us, and then boom, there it is. Next day, order page changes.
A Tesla reminds me of, I don't know if you remember, Tom, Faulty Towers.
Yes, yes.
And there was that, I think it was the Spanish waiter they had, Manuel.
Manuel? Yep.
And he's like, I know nothing. And it's very similar to that, but Tesla never tells anyone anything. And then boom. And then there's more rumors now because overnight, apparently in the US, the Model 3 configurator, the dates disappeared as to the estimated delivery time, but then they came back. So Tesla's clearly testing something, but
yes,
we'll find out. There's too many rumors now.
So much. I think it happened here in Australia too. A few of our local social media people also said, yes, the dates did change or disappeared for a while. So there's a bit of excitement there. Yes, that's kind of the hints we have to rely on. It's funny how these things always happen around September. Like Apple also released their products around September, October too. So it must be the change of seasons. All right, let's take some more comments. So hello, Greg, one of our members is on. He says another tip, which is not widely known, is if you have an iPhone, you can send any address to your Tesla. Yes, that's true. And you can navigate that way too. Kef1 says, picking up my new Model Y on Saturday the 9th. Exciting. Congratulations. That's very exciting indeed. Abby says, rumor was that Google Maps will come with Waze-like features a few years ago. It took a while and Google Maps did release report function, but in saying that, can't beat Waze interface. Yeah, it's very good Waze, very handy. A lot of the Uber drivers use it too, rideshare drivers, so you know it must be a good thing. Question from Greg, what date was the 2021 refresh announced? Oh, good question.
Yeah, I know they had I'm assuming, oh wait, are we talking about the Model 3 or the Model S?
Oh, actually, surely Greg's talking about the Model S.
Yeah,
Surely.
because the Model S they had the delivery event in June 2021, June or July. Yes. But yeah, obviously they would have announced it previously because someone was taking delivery of those cars.
I'm seeing articles. I'm just searching on Google now. Model 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Was there a refresh of? Well, they had the new battery.
Yes.
At the end of 2021.
The LFP battery.
Yeah, the bigger 60 kilowatt, and they had the AMD Ryzen.
Yes. We've had a few updates. Also, the black trim, not so chrome anymore. That's been a change. Also, the interior, there was like sliding center console rather than the piano black finish. So,
yes, and I think Greg's right that if they did land in December, I guess that was very subtle. Like I don't think much changed apart from there was more range being displayed. And then there were some cars in the middle where they had there was more range, and then there was acceleration had also improved. Oh, sorry, no, it had gone the other way. It was a bit slower. So from 5.6 seconds to 6.1 seconds, not that it's a huge difference for the standard range cars.
I'm seeing a lot of articles on Google from October 2020. So that must have been when they officially revealed it for the 2021 refresh. And I think January 2021 was when stuff got delivered, I think. Or sort of mid 2021 anyway. Yeah. Anyway, who knows? As this comment from Jolie says, always find it amazing how Tesla never confirms anything and lets the rumor mill do all the work for them. That's their advertising, right? It's up to us just to promote it. Free advertising. Nick also says, are there any hints on how they previously rolled out updated car versions? Well, exactly this, Nick. They don't say anything. There's no big show for these updates. They just sort of it's there on the order page, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think the
it's
SX were launched, were they?
well, I guess
Can't
that's
remember.
the interesting part about it, right? Like if this creates way more buzz than if you think about what Volkswagen and other companies do. Or GM is the worst at it. They will say this car, we've like the Escalade IQ that they've just released, won't come out for another 18 months, but we'll show a pre-prototype, get all this PR and buzz off the back of that. Whereas that's probably like from what I can see, it's like tiny compared to when Tesla doesn't even announce anything. The world announces it for them.
Yep. You end up with people with drone footage and like telephoto lens shots and spotting cars driving around with like covers on them, and people like us discussing on streams.
The best one, I think, will hands down be the Cybertruck. It's like as people say, it's like a rolling ad. Everywhere it goes, it's an ad for Tesla.
And the Lightning F-150, Ford Lightning F-150 too.
That's right, of course.
It's advertising other brands too. It's pretty funny. All right, let's move on, Riz, to the next one. Speaking of other brands, should we talk about the Volkswagen ID.7?
Yes. It's this car has been very interesting. The interior is so Model 3-like in many ways, minimalistic. And this is sort of the flagship that what Volkswagen was thinking about. And then they made announcements, got media to drive it earlier this year. Sounded great. A lot of good things about the car. But then only a couple of months ago, they said, oh, sorry, we're not going to start production when we intended because there's no demand. So
right, interesting.
Now they've just started production, but at that price point. So that price point is, what is it, nearly 60,000 euros?
US.
60 US.
Euro. Mm.
That's 80, 90 grand here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking, this is like Model 3 size, isn't it? Bit more
It might be
fastbacky.
slightly bigger. Maybe it's in between the Model 3 and the Model S. But yeah, interesting to see. I highly doubt we will get it anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was not that happy with the Volkswagen interface when I test drove the Cupra Born, which is on the same ID.3 platform. So I don't have hopes for this ID.7 platform unless they can drastically improve it in the next couple of years. Let's have a look at some of the specs here. 77 kilowatt hour battery, 621. So. Head-up display. Yep, all the navigation, different wheels, all the safety stuff. Yeah, and then you can see what they've sort of highlighted what features are on this new car here. So more aerodynamic with the back there, improved airflow, etc. So yeah, I mean, again, like we talked about just like literally 5 minutes ago about how they don't, how the brands just sort of give you a spec sheet and coming soon, a prototype, and then we wait, I guess, wait and see what happens. Drag coefficient 0.23, so that's not too bad there. Trying to gain 10% market share in the US again with this vehicle. Can they do it, Riz?
Oh, geez, this sedans, we know they're not the buzz at the moment. Neither is the ID buzz because we haven't seen any yet.
I was just going to say.
But I think that's what, we don't really know at this stage what's going on. Hopefully we'll, I guess, find out in the coming sort of months, but I highly doubt that there's that many Americans that are ready to buy this car, and they generally want trucks and new models.
Yep, correct. Yep, shame. We'll see. I mean, Volkswagen have got a lot of work to do to catch up, that's for sure. All right, let's take some more comments. So Paul says the light status display on the right of the screen of Model 3 is active. Touching it brings up light controls at the bottom of the screen. Light controls in 2 taps rather than mucking through menus. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I have to look at that. I also noticed too on my drive, the Model 3 and Y UX now has for the speed sign, if you're going over the speed limit, what is it? There's a blue ring if you're on autopilot, and then I think it flashes. I think if it's going over, if you're going
Yeah,
over
it
over the speed
does.
limit. Yeah, that's something you noticed. Hal, sorry, late note again. That's okay, Hal. Tell me, am I seeing things, or is it a Atto 3 avalanche on the North Shore of Sydney at present? I was in Sydney on Thursday and was amazed how many I noticed. Not just the Atto 3, Hal. There's a lot of EVs at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of Mercs. Obviously, North Shore is quite an affluent area in Sydney, so a lot of like EQBs, EQCs, EQEs running around. BMW iXs, Model 3Ys, obviously, Atto 3. Yeah, it's quite a few. Riz, we'll have to get some from data of you to see what the North Shore of Sydney is doing in terms of uptake. It's going to be huge.
We'll make that happen next week.
Good.
I think just we'll put it into our thing to try and get some data on what's happening in that part, and we should have all of August data as well by that stage.
Yep. Here's a good question from Greg. This will bring up some discussion. Tom and Riz, I now ask you this every 3 months. Do you test lots of EVs? Are there any brands beside Tesla you would drop your own money on? Well, I mean, we are sitting with Teslas. So I've got 3 Teslas. Riz has got 2 Teslas. I guess we put our money where our mouth is. We do. I mean, I personally look at EVs all the time to see what else I can buy. I'll give my thoughts in a second, but Riz, I mean, is there anything that comes close to you at the moment from what you've seen?
So we test drove the Polestar 2, the refresh. It's 85% there. And the reason why it's 85% there is because the software with that, what do you call it? Android or Google Auto.
Yeah.
Google Automotive. With Google Automotive there, it's fantastic. So it's nearly there. But I guess we'll find out in terms of MG once we spend a bit more time in the 4, what that sort of looks like. The BYDs are a good car. With Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in them, it's quite good. But I'm looking forward to the Seal to see where I like sedans. But software and the overall experience and supercharging and the rest, it's, there's always compromises if you don't get a Tesla, especially at the price point that the new Model 3 is at now.
Yeah, great summary, Riz. And I have to agree with you. For me, it's 3 things. So number 1, the ease of charging. Charging makes up 50% of your experience at the moment. If you just drive any other EV or on like an urban environment, who cares? You can drive whatever you want because you just charge at home if you've got off-street charging. If you don't have off-street charging, or if you do a road trip fairly regularly, then I've got to say there's nothing like the Tesla supercharging experience. I know I say this a lot, but honestly, it's so easy. It's just nothing like it. There's no handshake issue. There's no app. Just plug in and go and do something else. So you're saving 5 minutes already with a handshake. And thirdly, as Riz said, it's the software. So if your vehicle does not have EV trip planning built in, it makes things quite difficult because then you've got to work it out yourself where you need to stop. So there's only 2 brands I can think of that can do that at the moment. That's Tesla and Polestar. And the others don't have this function. That's really important. And I'll just add one more thing, and that's how into you, it sounds weird, but how into you is this brand? And by that, I mean, how committed are they to EVs? And how committed are they to you as an EV customer? There's only 4 brands I can think of at the moment, 3.5 brands: Tesla, Polestar, and BYD, and Volvo I'd add as a half because they're only all EVs by 2025 in Australia. So those 3.5 brands are the only ones I would fully consider putting my money into, because if something happens to your car and you're the only type of customer they have, they will look after you. Whereas the other brands, and I've heard this from other people anecdotally, they will not look at, well, they'll find any reason not to look after you because they've got a whole other brand of ICE customers that can help out. You're only a very small margin compared to what the other people are. So just be really careful with buying another brand at this moment. One day when the supercharger network opens to everyone, again, that'll make things easier. One day when other legacy brands look after EV customers properly, it won't matter. And one day when the software for all cars include trip planning, then it won't matter. But for now, these 3.5 brands are the ones I'll look after. I'll put my money into at the moment. So that's my 2 cents. So good question, Greg. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Let's take some more comments. So Jolly01, just got back from Sydney and you can't walk down the street without seeing an EV. It's really true, especially in some parts of Sydney, particularly, I guess, more northern, eastern parts of Sydney. A lot of EVs around. Handy tips I found using long left Long press left scroll on the Tesla brings so many options. Light icon is mentioned by Paul, and voice commands. Here's a funny one. Try voice command. My hands are cold, or my ass is cold. That's quite a funny one, actually. Question for us, Riz, from Jerry Can. Hi, Tom and Riz. Is BYD Australia likely to stop the standard range like BYD New Zealand are planning? Oh, good question. A lot of extended range ones around.
Yeah, I think extended range would be their most sold model at the moment. They wouldn't have too many. Standard range is good, but it's still a compromise. So yeah, possibly with the Dolphin and other models out soon, they may do that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean the extended range is such good value at 51 on around 50,000 on road, so it's good. Snip 3D morning all. Hello there, nice to see you. Jeremy Gordon, Ioniq 5. Yep, as per my reasoning earlier, they're all beautiful cars. Ioniq, all the GMP cars are beautiful. Ioniq, Kia, EV6, even the EV9 that's coming, Genesis, beautiful cars, great interior. But again, for those reasons I said earlier, I'd think twice about getting them. Quite expensive too, actually. Nick, yeah, consider repairability with these brands, 100%. Yes. Not just that, also resale value. You want to look at Tesla, BYD, they're probably going to resell better than another brand at this stage, just because there's so many of them. And Varun says, good morning, fellas. It's become a part of Saturday morning routine. Great going. Thanks, Varun. Thanks for joining us. One more comment before we go to our next topic. Insurance is still a hot topic. Do you know if there's any chance of Tesla bringing their own insurance like they have in the US, or an EV-friendly company? Well, I'll answer the second one, which is yes, an EV-friendly company. I will be doing a special live stream very soon on what we want as EV owners in an EV insurance product. So stay tuned. I'll have details very shortly. Will Tesla bring their own insurance company? You would think so, Riz, surely, with time. You would think so. They've got all the
I'd
data.
say they have to. They have to. They just need to roll it out effectively in the US, and they're doing it state by state because every state has its own insurance laws. Fingers crossed, it happens.
Yep, perfect. Riz, let's move on to the next one. We like our rumors and innuendo and all that stuff. So let's move on to this article. This is another Cybertruck article, and Cybertruck spotted with RGB interior lighting. Oh yes, that's quite
It
clear.
is.
Wow.
It is. Now, this may be a hint to the Project Highland, because Chris Zhang previously has said that there's RGB lighting is being considered as part of the Model 3 refresh as well. So this is the first time that I can think of, and I've been covering the Cybertruck fairly closely on the Driven. It's the first time I've seen with RGB lighting like that, and that is pretty cool because it extends all the way to the back as well.
Wow. Okay. We know other brands have got that RGB lighting option. Like I know BYD Atto 3, Ioniq have got that interior lighting. It looks pretty cool. I've seen like aftermarket RGB lighting installations, but this will be good if it's OEM and if it's in keeping with the interior design too. So I like it. I think it'll just add that next level to our Tesla vehicles, which some people say it's a bit minimalistic at this stage. That's good.
Yeah, and it just keeps the vehicle fresh, I guess, to a certain degree. I mean, a lot of other cars have them, but I generally don't use it. But I thought the BYD, actually, the Atto 3 has good, interesting interior lighting, because it changes, I think, when you increase or decrease the temperature as well. So if you increase it, it glows red, and if you decrease it, it glows a little bit blue. But yeah, I think there's some good things, and Tesla is the king of software. They can do a lot with it.
Yeah, that's right. That's the benefit. And then that'll add the next level to the the light show as well. We can have interior lighting pop up when you play it. So yes, so watch this space, everyone. That's very exciting. It's good to see. All right, let's take some more comments from the audience. So I like these. You can learn a lot from you guys. So there's some more tips here. Gaffer, did you guys notice you can click on your time on the Tesla screen and bring up your calendar for the day? Okay. Click any event and navigate it set if it includes location. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. And Nick says, yes, insurance is a very profitable sector. Can't see Tesla turning down this opportunity. Yep, true. Greg, have they taken away the check for software update button? Oh, okay. Are they sick of people asking them, are they? Maybe it's gone now. Okay, not for us. EX30 has mood interior lighting. Very good. Yeah, I think that'll become standard soon.
Oh, with
Most cars.
that car, there's so much buzz behind it, and I think Volvo or Geely will do a good job at delivering a good product.
Mm.
I haven't tested a Volvo recently, and maybe you have, Tom, but have they moved to Android Automotive as well?
They have, yes, they have. The last one I tested with was the XC40 recharge. That was, I think, earlier this year, and that was very similar to Polestar in that there was trip planning
Awesome.
as well, which I was very happy with. So yeah, Volvo Polestar UX infotainment screen is very good. It's probably next after Tesla's one. Very impressive. Oh, Mick Salis, any news about the 2024 Model 3 Model Y? Do we have news? We go through it all the time, Riz. Maybe not the Y, but the Model 3
Yeah, yeah.
Highland, definitely.
I
Yeah.
think so. The way I'm seeing it, Cybertruck gives us clues of what we can expect in the Model 3, and then when the Model 3 comes out, that'll give us clues on what happens to the Model Y. So I think that's the order we have to look at. So RGB lighting, interior trims, those type of things. Um, well, according to Chris saying, we'll know next week.
That's right, 1st September. Hold on to your butts. Okay, let's talk about this brand here, NIO. NIO shows full range of models at Chengdu Auto Show. No new EC6.
Yeah, I mean, Neo makes some beautiful looking cars. I think um, there's a lot of technology in them, and they look very Porsche-like in many ways, and which is really awesome. Good to see they still make wagons, which I'm a big fan of. Um, but yeah, it seems like they're continuing to do the auto shows around China and in Europe. They seem to be building Neo houses. Um, It'd be good to see their big downfall, I think, at this stage, and was touched on this multiple times this morning, is software. The European drivers that have tested them say it's 70% there, 75% there, but they need to do more work on the software end. I personally don't see why, if these companies are big enough and they're serious about it, why they just won't set up R&D software hubs in Silicon Valley and others where they can get the good talent to make it all happen, because the customers will recognize that.
Yeah, 100%. The world is heading towards software. Software, software, software. If you can't get software right, the user experience is just not good. People turn away. So software is everything now. It's charging, it's trip planning, it's efficiency, all that stuff. You've got to get it right. It's not car first, it's software first, I think. And the rest will take care of itself with good design. So yeah, good point, Riz. I agree with you there. And you're right, they do make nice cars, especially under the showroom lights there. That's sort of an SUV type one, and then there's quite a nice roadster looking one right there. And these are probably from. Oh no, these are from Chengdu. Sorry, I was going to say it looks very much like a Shanghai Motor Show, but I guess
Yeah.
the setup's probably very similar. Yeah, I'd love to go to one of these one day in China. I think it'd be amazing to see what's available at the moment. The lineup, lots of shooting brakes there, or wagons, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
It's a nice little experience center up there. Nice
Yeah,
setup.
so they call that I think they call them Neo houses, or basically it's a place where Neo owners can hang out, and they do that even at these car shows. So you've got cafes, you've got, I think it says the second floor includes the living room, library, Neo cafe, Joy Joy Camp. I'm not sure
Joy
what
Camp.
Joy Camp is. Just like the regular Neo house, which is their main experience centers.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't mind experiencing that. That'd be good. Cool. All right, that's Neo. Let's take some more comments from the audience. Yes, Robin Jewell says, yes, we love to pull up in front of a restaurant with disco music and mood lighting in our Atto 3. Awesome. Oh, here's a little speculative one. What do you think the EV world will look like in 5 to 10 years? Ooh, what's 5 to 10 years? That's 2028 to 2030.
It's, as we've touched earlier, software companies that can nail that, experience companies that can nail that will be around. Others, customers just won't buy them. We look at what's happening in China at the moment. Mitsubishi's pulled out. Nissan and some of the other brands are contemplating. Toyota's had basically the biggest drop in their sales. Volkswagen's suffering in a big way. I mean, going to a stage where they're going in and buying, let's call it, EV platforms from Chinese car makers. Who would have
Yep.
ever thought? They were laughing at the Chinese automakers 5 years ago. So now they're going in and buying those platforms because they're like, well, while they're making money off the ICE platforms, they'll continue to do that. So things are changing very quickly.
Yep.
I think China has basically they're going to dominate in many ways. Tesla will continue to partner with Chinese suppliers, and I mean, look at it. The Model 3 at the moment, and why Tesla's supply chain is 97% plus based in China for Giga Shanghai. Everything is there, so they don't get their parts from other sort of countries as such. Majority of it comes from there, and they'll want to continue to use that as well. So Tesla, I think, will dominate. Rivian, maybe okay. Some of the US brands. Ford, fingers crossed, they can keep at least putting the good word around EVs out there, but back that up with good product. But the Japanese brands, I think, are going to have a tough time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, buck the trend as much as you like other brands, but yeah, the Chinese do make things very well and very quickly and very efficiently. And as Riz says, software will be the key, and not just software for the vehicle too. We'll see integration with your EV, with your home, whether that's V2L, V2H, V2G. The energy product your car has, which is the battery, will be integrated with your home and possibly the rest of the environment and community as well. So that's where I think it's heading. In terms of charging, I think if you want to see the future, have a look at Ampol's Pheasant Nest northbound, southbound charging stop. That's where we're going to be heading. Very comfortable, modern facilities. Plug your car in, do what you need to do inside, and then come back out. Because people will be spending more time at charging stops, right? That's just what's going to happen because charging is slower than filling up at the moment. So it's got to have a nice, comfortable environment for you to hang out in. That's what I think the future is in. All right, more questions. So do you guys see the pictures of Elon in the final candidate Cybertruck, or is that a Highland Model 3 hidden in plain sight behind it?
Oh,
I've not actually. Let's have a quick look.
yeah, that's cool. I did notice that. Well, someone shared those photos, but didn't know there was something. The Highland was spotted in New Zealand, right? Like with their winter testing.
Yes.
I mean, how well they've done to keep that under wraps is, yeah. No intentional leaks.
No, exactly. I think Tesla purposely probably do all that so that they can generate content like this, what we're doing. Yeah, it's part of the fun, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know. If anyone can share that with me on Twitter, or sorry, on X, I can post that next week on our stream. So that'd be a fun one to look at. Anyone going to the Melbourne EV show next month? Okay.
I was not intending on going, and even now I probably won't go. Just personally speaking, it sounds very commercial, and we're more grassroots sort of people where we'll go to places like Fully Charged was good because we got to meet a lot of the viewers and you guys when you attended. But this one seems very commercialized, and now Car Sales is their main sponsor. Basically, an opportunity for them to be like, we are all about EVs, when traditionally they haven't really supported EVs in a good way. But yeah, my personal opinion, it is very commercialized, and the tickets are expensive. You want it to be where people can just come in and have a look. Australian EV Association's Expo in Canberra, it was, I think, pretty sure free for people to just rock up and have a look. And that's what we want for EVs. We want people that currently drive ICE vehicles, petrol, diesel, hybrids, to come and have a look and check out the EVs. And as soon as you put a ticket price or to get through the door, it turns everyday people away. So I think we need more free events that aren't that commercialized to really drive EV adoption.
Yep. Yeah, I don't understand charging people a lot of money to see cars. I mean, the whole point is to promote their brands. The brands should be paying the organizers money, not the consumers. Brands are promoting their products. So hopefully we'll see more of those events, as Riz said. The AEVA ones are done very well. I've been to a few of them already. Canberra, Sydney, they're just great. It's very close to a motor show where you just have a look at what's available, and you can sit in the cars, talk to people, meet everyone in the community. So yeah, get along to one of those in the future. Comment from How Funny Neo are still only the ones offering battery swap and battery as a service. You would have thought Mercedes and BMW would have entered this space as they offer a premium product. Yeah, not too much battery swap tech going on apart from Neo at the moment. So interesting. Anything new from Greg asking announcements from from Mazda, Subaru, Nissan, or Toyota this year? I know Mazda's pulled out of the US, haven't they, Riz?
Oh, well, it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do, right? Because Mazda, their first product hasn't been very good, the electric product anyway. Subaru, I see a lot of ads on social media and other places for their Solterra. Toyota apparently is holding some sort of an event on Monday here in Melbourne, talking about maybe electrification. Nissan, no word on the Aria, and the Leaf is just selling, I guess. Don't know who's buying them, but I'm assuming a lot of councils and conservative sort of organizations that generally just want to dabble their EV sort of feet in and figure out what happens next. Not much like Aria when it comes to like from Nissan. If Aria comes to Australia, I highly doubt it's going to be under 80 grand. And that's, when you think about the Model Y, it's like nearly $15,000 cheaper than that. I don't know many people that will be spending that sort of money on an inefficient, larger vehicle.
Yep, that's good point there. That's a lot of money, 80,000 for Nissan. Question for you, Riz. When will the MG4 be actually available here? The launch at Fully Charged was ages ago, and that was in February, I think, or March this year. And it has had other price launches, like recently, local test drive reviews like us, and it's got a 5-star NCAP review. Before you answer that, Riz, Jace is saying MG4 arriving at dealer in Launceston this coming week. I'm keen to find out when the X-Power MG4, that'll be exciting. 0 to 103.8, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. So I think we touched on it on Thursday night. There's a few that are being delivered. So that's been interesting to see. There's been a few of the customers, I think Queensland, some have received it, and but we don't officially know. Like, I guess they don't have a proper order page. You're going through the dealer to talk about it. The dealers will obviously tell you that it will be here soon, as long as you've got your credit card ready. But I guess we'll find out in the coming days. The X-Power as well, at the MG4 event a couple of weeks ago, their management said the X-Power will be here before the end of this year, or at least the orders will open. So I know they're already starting to deliver in the UK, but they've had the MG4 for over 12 months from memory. So hopefully we see more.
Well, I've been promised by MG's marketing and PR person that I'll be able to loan an Essence. So I would think when that arrives and I get to test drive it, you would think that's when deliveries will come as well, like the first batch production vehicles. So generally viewers will tag me and then I'll repost it or amplify it on social media. So hopefully those pictures of deliveries keep coming, and I'll certainly let you guys know on the channel.
Just one quick point on MG4. The sales leadership team at MG4 here MG in Australia reckons they're going to bring 1,000 to 2,000 a month by early next year. So that is a big sort of commitment. The interesting part will be how many sales they can get.
1,000 to 2,000 will bring it up there, Riz, like up with the BYDs of the world. Not quite Tesla, but still, it's going to be in the top 3 if that's the case.
Yeah, so BYD, I think on average till July, they've delivered about 1,000 cars every month, just a bit over 1,000 cars. So they're up to 7,000 and something for the year till the end of July. So let's find out. I mean, these companies have got to put their money where their mouth is and get the cars here, and then figure out how they're going to sell them.
All right, comment here from HSV me. While waiting for our Model Y long range to arrive and considering a third-party screen, has there been any reported issues of these screens damaging the car computers and potential warranty issues? I can assure you I have been using this third-party device for most of this year, and I've tested other ones as well. They generally don't affect the computer. It's really just reading it and monitoring it, so you should be okay. And they're usually easily reversible as long as you install it properly. So look, Tesla's very strict with a warranty. Anything you touch the car that's not Tesla approved, they may claim it. But I think generally speaking, people have had not many issues with these third-party things. I've certainly brought my car for service with third-party things attached, and Tesla have not said anything in the past. So generally speaking, there've been no problem. Except for one product Hansho released, I think last year, when it bricked software updates. That one was quite involved. It was done to write the computer. So anything that writes into the computer, I'd be wary of. But if it's just reading via the CAN bus port, you should be okay. Just the general rule. Okay. Oh, okay. Gaffers just said that he has direct messaged that picture at me. Okay, let's have a look. See whether I can get it up for you, everyone. So let's have a look. All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Thank you, Gaffer. Let's have a look. It's the beauty of the internet, right? We can get things up really quickly for everyone. Look at that picture there. So that is the production one with the car in the background. That's potentially Highland Model 3.
That is...
No. Oh, sorry.
That's cool. That is...
Nice.
Is that on
That's pretty
purpose?
Cool, huh?
Is that on purpose? Like, who's taken this shot? Is it Tesla? Is it Elon?
Can't even.
Or is it?
Elon's posted this. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's Elon's account right there.
Can we blow that up a bit more, Tom? Is that?
Let me have a look. One sec.
Even if you try and zoom it in, that is super cool. Good pickup.
Yeah, well done. Let's share this one. There we go.
That is Model S-like, and it is a Model 3.
That's really cool.
Performance with the lip. Very exciting.
Like there you go. Zoom in.
Yeah, it is, because it doesn't look like an S.
It looks like an S, like you said.
But it's not like long. It's, I don't know.
Is it a hatchback opening?
Is it?
See that? Or is that just still?
Does that look
like?
But
it cuts off higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it's opening there.
I'll just have to say one thing. Shut up and take my money. That looks
insane,
that is
right?
So cool.
Yeah, I'd be trading in for that. It looks really good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would say that's, looking at the size of it, I think it's a 3. There's no way that's an S. S is longer than that. And
then the curve of the roof, the S is longer. You're not. Yeah, it's definitely a 3.
That's cool, huh? Yeah, I'd be wanting that for sure. That's got to be the performance one, right? It's got the carbon fiber spoiler.
Yeah, it's got the lip, and if it has the diffuser, is it the diffuser, the underbody? Underneath the back bumper.
Well, people are saying it's an S. Elon's S behind it. Maybe it is the S.
Is he driving a white?
Elon's in the seat. Hard to know, isn't it? Hard to know.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, more speculation. Single glass pane roof. Yeah, I thought the S had 2. I could be wrong. I haven't seen the refresh one, what the roof looks like. Yeah, if Highland is a hatch, I'm in, people are saying. Yeah, lots of conjecture whether it's an S or Highland 3. So this is the kind of stuff Tesla do. They just put stuff out like this. And you got to go, ooh, what's going on here? Typical Tesla. Yeah. Okay. Well, final thing before we go, Greg says Kia announced the EV5 as well.
They did.
Yeah, that's right. Which is the smaller version of the EV9, more SUV-like.
Yeah, I think it would be probably the same length as the EV6, but in a more conventional format of an SUV.
Yep. Yep. Cool. All right, everyone. That might be it for today. It's 9 o'clock, so I'll wrap it up there. So thanks everyone for joining us this morning. I really appreciate you waking up so early on a Saturday to join us. And if you're watching on replay, make sure you leave a comment as well. And thanks for watching or listening to us on audio podcast. Thank you as always to Riz from Carloop and The Driven for your time as always.
All good, Tom. It's great to be here. This sort of stuff is what, gets us out of bed. It's exciting to see this transition, and thanks everyone for your comments, because, it's people like, yourselves that are doing the good work in promoting electric vehicles. So we'll keep that happening, and the more models that come in, as much as we sort of bagged out the Renault Megane E-Tech, there is people that are looking for those for their own individual reasons. So keep those EVs coming, and there's a lot more that's going to be coming in the coming months.
Yep, that's right. Things can only get better from here. And one EV on the road is one less ICE vehicle on the road too. So keep that in mind. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. And we shall see you on Thursday night for our live stream. Thank you, Riz. Thanks, everyone. And I'll see you next time as always. Happy charging. See ya.